BSF recovery team. If you notice the title of this video, it says Epic Wrecker Fail. Yes, the new wrecker had a mechanical failure. But before I show you what that is, I want to show you what we were doing just before it failed. And I think you'll agree with me. It's a darn good thing the wrecker hung in as long as it did.
Should we go down the edge trail?
I have run the edge trail a few times before in my Jeep and was always kind of curious if my driving skills were good enough to handle it in the wrecker. It was a risky decision because I also knew that there was no backing out of this trail and no bypasses. It can also be a bit of a scary trail, especially for the passengers. It's a good thing seat cover wasn't with me on this one. She would have been calling me some choice names by now. It may not look that scary on camera, but let me tell you, each one of those boulders on the left side would tip the wrecker to the edge every time we tried to crawl over them. We were a few hundred yards in when we came across this samurai owner who had a little bit of a scare and a problem of his own.
You don't have onboard air, do you? It's not wired. I just sent a buddy back I got a little tiny compressor. It'll take forever, but okay. Weirdest feeling in the world, let me tell you. You're on the edge and that tire goes flat and starts pulling you. That's kind of a scary thing.
At this point, all we could do was wait for the little compressor and hope that it could do the job.
Starter's gonna come out of there, Todd. Maybe. I need a couple extra hands. Much what? Hands. I can't hold 4 ends of wires. You don't have a cigarette lighter, right? This thing. Like I said, I got the cover here. Huh? I would still. I would watch. Loose? Will we make it live?
After digging a few rocks out of the bead, the little compressor was able to air up the tire on the Samurai, and everybody was on their way again. This ended up being a little bit of a tricky spot for the wrecker. If you look real close, coming up here on the left side, you'll see a boulder sticking out of the bank. And, well, the duals caught that boulder right about the same time my front bumper was catching the front of this tree. And there really wasn't a whole lot of room to maneuver, much less open the door and take a look.
Yeah.
Can you put it in two-wheel drive and spin it around it?
How much is catching?
There it goes. You're past it.
Well, we were able to get through that pinch point, and one-handed no less. See, that's me holding the camera on a stick out the window. Wondering, no, that's not an exit that we just bypassed there. That's another one-way trail called Roller Coaster that comes and joins into this one. We still have a ways to go, running on the edge like this, before there's a real steep climb back up to the top. After this little climb here, I had finally had enough of driving this trail one-handed and had to pass off the camera to my passenger.
Got a full-size truck stuck up there.
When we got to the series of switchbacks that made the climb back up to the top, we found that there was a full-size Chevy already stuck in the middle.
Pretty sketchy trail.
It was at this point I was starting to get a little worried, because if he wasn't able to make the climb, how in the world would we ever be able to help him out? And even if he does make it, he's digging up all that loose rock. Are we going to be able to make it when it's our turn? Well, he did finally make it, and now it was our turn. Uh-oh, that's not very promising. Looks like we're going to have to get a little more aggressive on this climb. Made it up out of there okay, but on the very next climb, this is what happened. I lost brakes. Brakes without the engine. I don't have much of a brake at all. Yeah, I think so. Well, sometimes even the wrecker breaks down. We were climbing a hill, lost our brakes. Check this out.
and make it back to the parking lot. Then we gotta figure out how to get it on the trailer.
I think you'll agree with me. There's a prime example of how dangerous off-roading can be. Join us in our next video and I'll show you just what failed on the wrecker and why. Thanks for watching, BSF Recovery Team. Keep it safe if you can, and maybe we'll see you out there in the woods.